Pardon me? No, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear what he said. Don't move. What is going on? No, I didn't hear what he said. I'm sorry. What did you say, sir? Who? What do I give a fuck? No, you're saying I'm not very funny.
You got my money. You got my money. That's okay.
How much money? How much money I got that's yours? No, honestly, I don't care. How much?
Well, a couple bucks.
Are you alone or you just by yourself?
He's not alone, unfortunately.
No, but so what was the idea? So here's the thing. So you go, I'm gonna pay money. Go see this dude, right? I think it's probably costs a lot of money, right? So, no, that would be an awful thing. That would be an awful thing. That would be a terrible thing to do. No, I just want to understand what exactly happened. So, but anyways, you at some point in your life you thought I was funny. Because I don't got no fucking banjo or shit. So at some point in your life, you thought I was funny, right?
Weekend update, baby.
Weekend update. That's nice, thank you. So then, have you ever seen me do anything since Weekend update? Pardon me? I'm sorry, what?
YouTube Morbid bits.
I did what?
I saw a lot of YouTube Morbid bits.
YouTube Morbid bits? Oh, Morbid. I see. And so then did you like those?
No.
You didn't like those? Specifically about death. Is that what you mean?
Yes!
So they were clips, but you didn't like those. So then you said, I'll come here to this show.
You said that you were better. You weren't doing the morbid stuff anymore.
Yeah, I'm not doing the morbid stuff anymore. Did I do anything more? First of all, I never said I was better. I've never used but have I done anything morbid, do you think?
No, Norm, I love you, baby. That's why I'm here. So shut up.
Why you tell him shut up? At least you say you love me. Well, that's nice. Thanks, man. That's cool that you love me. Because it's cool to love someone even if you don't think they're fine. You know, you should love someone even if they disappoint you. No, I'm not going to check them out. Why would I do that? Yeah. So you know, it's nice of you to love me even though I've disappointed you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was funny, because seriously, I never tried. I'll try to do that. But that was nice that you said that you love me on the Weekend update. And it was so sweet that you said you love me. So, I love you too, bro. Oh, man, alive. We got through that all right. You gotta let people be, you gotta let people have their opinion and stuff like that. Man paid a lot of money, and then he's like, what the fuck is all this shit? Morbid shit. I didn't really feel that morbid.
Love you, Norm. You rock,
But let's do a morbid thing.
Wow, this is exciting. Thank you, and welcome to the American Music Awards. This is exciting. I'm not actually in music, so let me introduce myself. To those of you who don't know me, I'm Norm MacDonald. For those of you not familiar with me, thank you very much. I am the biological child of Melissa Etheridge and Norm Crosby. So if you want to... Well, that's the big story in music news right now. Melissa Etheridge asked her friend David Crosby to be the biological father of her children. And you know, this was a new experience for David Crosby. Usually when David Crosby picks up a turkey baster, there's a turkey in the vicinity. That's right. He's a fat guy. But this is the 27th Annual American Music Award. It's the first American Music Award of the new millennium. And we're setting a... Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. And we're setting a big record here tonight. Three straight hours of ABC programming without Regis. So that's kind of exciting. You know? You know, before I did the show, I never realized how much work it took to put on a production like this. Check it out. They spent 2 months building all these incredible sets. They had to coordinate 14 live music acts. And most impressive of all, they had to find a seat filler for Jennifer Lopez. She got a... What the fuck was that? Now, maybe you guys are right. Maybe she doesn't have a gigantic ass. I stand corrected. Well, it's been quite a year in music, though. Let's look back. A lot of classic songs have been covered this year, haven't they? Lenny Kravitz did American Woman. Dwight Yoakam did Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And Barry Manilow released an album entitled Manilow Sings Sinatra, and I'll tell you, it is a great CD, or as I like to call it, it is a great coaster. I like to throw my drinks on that. It's not a good CD at all. And you know, with everyone so obsessed with their careers nowadays in music, you know what I mean? Here's a kind of a nice story. Celine Dion is retiring from music to try to start a family, you know, and I think she's serious about it, because I just saw her backstage chasing David Crosby with a bucket and a copy of Swank. So I think she's serious about it. Well, we've got a big show, so let's get it going. Yeah. Here are our first presenters. As Dr. Fraser Crane, he's achieved stardom in TV, and with hits like Come to My Window and Angels Would Fall, she's achieved stardom in music. But they have one thing in common. They both love the ladies. Please welcome Melissa Etheridge and Kelsey Grammer. back here to present the award for the favorite country album are Shadazy. An interesting thing about the name Shadazy. Do you realize that the name Shadazy comes from the Native American word for my sisters? It's kind of like that other Native American band Chumbawamba, which means thanks for that one song. Ladies and gentlemen, Shadazy, right here. Okay, folks, before we continue, I have an announcement from the management. Would the owner of a Glock 9 with the inscription, "Too Puffy with Love," please pick up your gun? It's at the hospitality suite. Well, 1999 was a big year for Latin musicians, and Atlanta Braves pitcher John Rocker thinks they all suck. He especially hates our next performer and has never bought any of his 13 consecutive #1 Latin singles or any of his 17 million albums he sold. So if you're watching now, John Rocker, be a good time to hit the can. For the rest of us, here he is, Enrique Iglesias. That's a coincidence because I did that song in a karaoke bar the other night. That's one of my favorite songs. I was just talking to Dre backstage. I don't know if he's a real doctor, but he did prescribe me some stuff. So I don't know. There he goes. And that leads us to our first special merit award of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, for nearly 30 years, our next presenter toured the country with his band, the Grateful Dead, playing guitar to sold-out arenas of tie-dyed hippies. That's right. Please welcome the late, great Andy Garcia. Well, I'll tell you, it's nice to be back on stage out here. You know, I don't want to say my dressing room is small, but Tommy Lee just dropped by to visit. He shook hands with Carmen Electra. He blew out a wall. He's got a huge, anyway. And now to present tonight's next award. Real singers, country music stars Trace Adkins and Montgomery Gentry. Oh, well, thank you, folks. I didn't know the Judds were back together. Did you know that? I just saw them. I just saw the Judds backstage. Yeah, you're big Judds fans? I just saw the Judds backstage chasing David Crosby around with 6 mason jars and a ham sandwich tied on a fishing pole. I don't know what it means. Our next presenters are talented young stars who became overnight sensations with their brilliant debut albums. And if I can take this moment to offer a little friendly advice, kids, whatever you do, when you put out your second albums, don't suck. Please welcome Tal Bachman and Britney Spears. Yeah, Savage Garden. That was great. He didn't seem as savage tonight as usual to me, but that might just be me. You know, folks, it's time for our next presenters, and for a long time there's been a rivalry between West Coast rappers and East Coast saxophone players. But tonight they have put their differences aside to be here. Please welcome Warren G. and Kenny G. Our next performers took their name from the nickname of their home state. They picked Lone Star because the other nickname for Texas was already taken by that other band, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, Lone Star! Well, you all know our next two presenters. When he was on the show Silver Spoons, he went by the name of Ricky. But now he's all grown up on NYPD Blue, and he prefers to be called Big Ricky. She is an exceptionally gifted singer and songwriter by the name of Amy Grant, although she also prefers to be called Big Ricky, oddly enough. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Big Ricky Schroeder and Big Ricky Grant. Thank you, folks. I'm really happy to say the 90s Artist of the Decade Award for me to present. I have been a huge country music fan my entire life, and I'm a big fan of this guy. In case you don't know, there's been no need for voting on this one at all. The record stands by itself. Look at these statistics. The fastest selling artist in history. 4 albums sold more than 10 million copies each. Over 95 million albums sold in all, more than any other American recording artist. By acclamation, the 90s artist of the decade, Garth Brooks. Together 3 of the hottest top 10 singers, and we put them together on this stage to participate in a bare-knuckle fight to the death. Here are Tyrese, Jessica Simpson, and Julio Iglesias Jr. All right. That's it, folks. Good night. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So, yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So, I was a little late here tonight. I took the cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like, Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. It just seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're going to... say the whole city's going to go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah. Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to in the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Oh, my goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know? It's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So... And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice. Folks, before we can begin handing out our awards tonight, we must look.
Live from Toronto at the Sony Centre, it's the 4th Annual Canadian Screen Awards with your host, Norm MacDonald, featuring Martin Short, Jay Baruchel, Rick Mercer, Emily Van Camp, Eugene Levy, Jacob Tremblay, Catherine O'Hara, Christopher Plummer, and Donald Sutherland. Now, please welcome Norm MacDonald.
Thank you and good evening. I'm Norm MacDonald, and I could not be more excited to be here. You know, when I was asked to host the Canadian Screen Awards, I called my good friend Chris Rock, and I said to him, I've got some great news, Chris. I'm going to Canada. And he said, I've got some great news, too. I'm hosting the Oscars. What are you doing in Canada? And I said, you know, visiting some family, friends. The usual. We're coming to you live from Toronto, or as you cost-cutting location scouts call it, New York City. Look at this beautiful crowd, though. Isn't it something? Dashing men. That sounded like Bobo. Look at this beautiful crowd, though, folks. Dashing men in black ties, sophisticated women in elegant gowns, and tonight, all of you are going to hear the word shits about 100 times. Never has there been such an assembly of great Canadian talent in a single location that did not have to be Zamboni'd first. Tonight, the CSAs are being seen in over 50 countries. Isn't that exciting? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Don't, wait. I misread that. 50 counties. And a couple of regional municipalities. We are here to celebrate nominees for their wonderful work in Canadian cinema and television, which is a lot like celebrating the Northern Lights. You probably haven't seen them, but you've heard they're amazing. You know, we were worried people would record the show and they'll just fast forward to the good parts, as is the want these days. So we have put a plan in place to prevent that from happening. We have decided to not have any good parts. I'm doing my part. But no, that's not true. We have a lot to celebrate in our industry. Amongst the TV shows nominated tonight are Amazing Race Canada, Big Brother Canada, Master Chef Canada. Where do they come up with these ideas? We are honored to have the great Christopher Plummer here tonight. Mr. Plummer is nominated for Remember, the story of a man who at age 90 sets out to kill the Nazi who murdered his family. And I thought I left things to the last minute.
But it's been a wonderful year for Canada. It's been a especially great year for one little guy, one adorable little Canadian youngster who's already accomplished so much. Of course, you know who I'm talking about, Justin Trudeau. Hasn't he had a wonderful year? No, I'm kidding. I was misdirecting you. I'm talking about Jacob Tremblay. Jacob is up for Best Actor, and he'll be competing against the aforementioned Christopher Plummer. You know, Jacob is only 9 years old. Christopher Plummer, 86 years old. But they have a couple of things in common. One, the deep love of their craft. And two, they are both up way past their bedtimes. And tonight, the Lifetime Achievement Award will be presented to Mr. Martin Short. It's the Academy's way of saying, thank you so much, we've had enough. Well, Don Rickles. As a friend, it's over. Ingenue Ellis is here tonight. Absolutely. She has done some powerful work in the Book of Negroes, which tells the story of a woman confronting the tragic legacy of racism in 18th century America. Oh, did I mention on the show Sunnyside I play a talking manhole? That doesn't mean it's better, it's just different. Ross of Sutherland is here, nominated for his role in River. And he is here with his iconic father, Donald Sutherland, who has come to support his son. Not to compete with him like someone I know, Eugene Levy. Oh, and Catherine O'Hara is here tonight, the wonderful... That's a beautiful dress you have on, Catherine. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But Catherine is an actress of extraordinary range, from her many characters on SCTV, of course, to her work in Best in Show and Home Alone, and perhaps her most remarkable performance to date as the title character in the Book of Negroes. I lost $1. It's been a busy weekend getting here. We lost an hour. As you know, daylight savings time went into effect last night. I give it 6 months. And I'd like to take a brief moment, as all moments are, I suppose, to thank my writers. You know, the writers are so specialized these days. There's a joke writer, he gives you jokes. There's a gag writer, he gives you gags. There's a head writer, he gives you... What I'm saying is things are they're specialized. Well, we're going to start the show, but I was... It hasn't started yet, you didn't know. I saw a wild look of alarm cross your eyes. But I was backstage yesterday, and we were doing rehearsals, and I asked, what is the statuette called? And they said, it's called the Canadian Screen Award. And I said, well, that seems kind of dull. Like, what? That's the name of the award? And they said, well, we've been bandying around different names, but none of, they said in Canada it takes a long time to get stuff done and stuff. But one of them they mentioned was the Candy. And I think John Candy, I mean, who doesn't love John Candy?
So of course, the statuette should be called the Candies. So what I'm asking you to do is, if you are a presenter, ignore the teleprompter and say, the candy goes to. And if you are lucky enough to win one, go, I would like one a candy. What do you think of that? Can you go along with that? Excellent. That would make us a better nation. I am not here to upbraid. However, I think I made it quite clear that these awards should be referred to as the Candies. A 9-year-old child knew. Are you so burdened with this preposterous technology? So I would like not to see that again. You know, backstage I was thinking how different things are since I moved to the United States. You know, now I'm in the United States. One thing I've noticed about films, I don't like foreign films anymore. You know? They're all like artsy, kind of not my cup of tea. But when I grew up in Ottawa, by God, I loved foreign films. You know, Star Wars, Smokey and the Bandit. Do you remember that one? Here to present our next award, the Candy. And this will be the end of my upbraiding, I hope. Is an accomplished actor. All right. Hey, before we go any further, how about a hand for the band, huh? Good job, guys. George St. Kitts and the Candy Band. Who can take a sunrise? Come on, guys. Sprinkle in, but they can't. Well, whatever. Well, our next presenters are political people. And it made me think, because I was just told Cape Breton Island, I don't know if you know this, but they are offering sanctuary to anyone that lives in America after Trump is elected president by a landslide. And I agree with this in principle, but why Cape Breton Island? I mean, can't I just flee to Toronto? Do I have to leave the fucking planet? I mean, can't I just go to Baffin Island while I'm at it? All right, now welcome to the stage, 2 Canadians. Oh, the Candies are going great so far, aren't they? I would like to say to Eugene Levy that there's no reason to be ashamed of your son. My son only this morning punched me in the chest really hard. Listen, I have some good news. I just found out that all of you here tonight will be getting a swag bag. Yeah. Just like the Oscars. I haven't seen one yet, but why don't we take a look and see what you're getting? I'm going to call Megan, our golden girl, out. Megan, our golden girl? Hi, Megan. Come on out here. Ah, you brought the swag bag. Yes, can you hold it open? And then I'll take things out of the swag bag. What do we have here? A loose pancake. What else we got here, Megan? We got, this looks cool. It's a CD, you know what they are, of Nelly Furtado singing all the national anthems. Torn from today's headlines. See what else we have. We have this. Ah, yes, this. This is a bottle of Eau de John Cherry Cologne. It's for the gentlemen in the audience. Now, what else do we have? Hopefully something a little funnier than the last one. Here. We have a 30-minute massage from producer Robert Lantos. Don't try to go for 50. You only can hit 30. Then what else do we have here? Oh, a curling stone. You know what these are made of? I always took them for granite. Last time I take a joke from Martin Short. All right. Megan, just do some house cleaning here. Having a hand for Megan, our Golden Globe. A natural mistake. Now, please welcome one of Canada's... All right. I want to apologize for running out earlier. I don't know if anybody saw that. But, you know, these things happen in live TV, and it reminds me actually of a maxim that Christopher Plummer told me many years ago. He said, before a live awards ceremony, do not eat a fistful of LSD. So, take that with you. And I'm sorry, Jacob. How's Jacob doing? Hey, Jacob. Congratulations, buddy. This must be like deja vu for you, being stuck in a room for so long like this. All right, folks, please welcome. All right. Listen, guys. For some reason, I've been told to stretch. So, oh, I've never tried that before. The show's over, folks. Good night. But for the first candies, respect, peace. You know, when I was asked to host the Canadian Screen Awards, I called my good friend Chris Rock, and I said to him, I've got some great news, Chris. I'm going to Canada. And he said, I've got some great news, too. I'm hosting the Oscars. What are you doing in Canada? And I said, you know, visiting some family, friends. The usual.
Chris is very presentational, you know. And Chris talks about racial things, and
one person does something, they get canceled. Somebody else does the exact same thing, nothing. You know what I'm talking about. You know, like the kind of people that play Michael Jackson songs, but won't play R. Kelly. Same crime. One of them just got better songs.
See, there was a number of artists and people who, so for instance, Gary Glitter was caught doing inappropriate things, and his music career, you know, rightly sort of ended almost overnight.
Right. Maybe.
Did you have? If it had been T-Rex who had committed those crimes, I still think.
No, because I have a theory. It's to do with the quality of the music.
Yeah.
See, with Jacko, we didn't wipe Jacko out from history because we didn't want to go to weddings and not have Billie Jean.
Exactly.
So it's sort of, if the music was better in the case of Glitter, I think we'd have all. I mean, it felt like the entire world sort of turned their back on the Jacko accusations, right, and just said, well, anything. He didn't start doing this pre-Dangerous. So we can listen to everything.
Another endless day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all
Right. right, Robert Kardashian helped to free O.J. Simpson, a black football playing murderer. Woo! O.J. Simpson killed 2 white people and got away with it. That's another kind of black excellence.
During a recent interview on 2020, longtime O.J. Simpson friend Robert Kardashian said he now believes Simpson may be guilty. Though he did add that had he believed O.J. was guilty at the time, he never would have agreed to hide his bloody clothes and knife. At his civil trial in Los Angeles this week, O.J. Simpson attorneys began their case with an attack on Nicole Brown Simpson's character. Outraged Brown family lawyers responded, quote, "Nicole is a victim. No matter what she did, she certainly did not cut her own throat." To which Simpson's attorneys replied, "On the contrary, that is precisely what we intend to prove." A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best, killing people.
Norm MacDonald is on the Adam Carolla Show.
And he brought fellow comedian Steve Ravenstein in. Steve is opening for Norm.
Stevie Ray Fromstein?
Oh, sorry.
Is that closer?
Ravenstein.
Well,
Ravenstein is my driver.
Well, it says
That guy sounds hot.
it says Stevie, and then it says Ravenstein. It doesn't.
Ravenstein is my butler.
All right. What the hell kind of name is Stevie Ray for a white guy anyway? Ever since Vaughn died.
Explain yourself, Fromstein.
No, one time I was with him and a guy almost beat him up. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
What happened?
Well, somebody named me Stevie Ray Fromstein after Stevie Ray Vaughan, but I didn't know much about Stevie Ray.
What do you mean
Vaughan.
someone? Your parents?
Somebody.
He named himself and he tried to pretend people was catching on.
Like one of those nicknames you give yourself when you start a new school that you made up?
Yeah, it was just, but apparently people called me Stevie Ray Fromstein, and then, so he got upset that I didn't know that much about Stevie Ray Vaughan. He got very upset.
The guy was a Stevie Ray Vaughan fanatic.
Oh, really?
And he got so mad.
Took umbrage.
Oh,
Did he threaten to kick your ass?
No, but he looked like he was going to. Maybe that's, I don't know, a lot of people look like that.
I could say, I will say this: if
Stevie Ray Vaughan,
if you're going to scrap with a fan, I always go Savage Garden.
Yeah.
Over Stevie Ray Vaughan fans, because I feel like those guys can throw down.
I sometimes go Tori Amos.
Yeah,
Tori Amos is good. That's a good. Although once in a while you get one of those heavy set lesbians coming after you and beat the crap out of you with a waffle stomper. But by and large, I pick I'm trying to think worst bands to mess with their fans.
AC/DC fans.
Stay away from them. Stay away from Ronnie James Dio fans. I don't know why. They're a little bit older now. Danzig is not a group you want to mess with. And I'll tell you who you definitely don't want to mess with. Insane Clown Posse fans.
Oh, yeah.
They will snap you like
You know any
kindling.
of those people?
No, it was going to be Stevie Insane Fromstein, but luckily we didn't.
I see. Or Mormon Tabernacle Fromstein, just to be safe.
That was one we kicked around.
Yeah, Guar's not a band where you want to mess with the fans either. Yeah, I feel like Savage Garden's good.
Anything emo.
Joan Osborne fans are usually a good bet.
Yeah.
Yanni, strong.
Strong. Yeah.
Starland vocal band.
Because they're all in their 80s.
Catherine and Tennille.
Do they do Afternoon Delight?
Yeah. That when I was young, I loved that song.
Well, especially when the lawn was being mowed.
Why do you say that? Don't do anything.
Not only. Yeah, I mean, it was
A couple of skyrockets in flight.
less a song and more a calling for Norm MacDonald. It's his theme song. That was what Brandy was to sailors. You know what I mean? Afternoon Delight was the guy likes to bang his friends' wives while they mow the lawn.
Yeah, listen to this. Here's an interesting piece of trivia, seriously. Forget about all that stuff. But listen to this. That Brandy was originally going to be...
Oh, you're trying to get us off topic.
It was originally going to be called Mandy, but they had to change it. Looking Glass had to change it to Brandy because Barry Manilow already had a song named Mandy. But I'll tell you an even more interesting piece of trivia.
Yeah.
The song Mandy, you're not even going to believe this. You know who it was written about?
Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah. Oh, you knew it.
Really?
No. Really?
Oh no, that's just one of those gay urban cowboy tales, right?
She knew it, right?
I know she was making a joke. Really?
That's the only Mandy I know other than Moore. Was it really written from Mandy Patinkin?
Yeah.
She wrote that about a dude?
Well, he's the only Mandy she knows is a dude.
All right, well, that's a decent point.
But also remember, Elton John is into dudes, so it makes complete sense.
Did he write Mandy?
Yeah. It was going to be Mandy, you're like a candle in the wind, but he didn't die.
I see.
Wait a minute. I thought Mandy was Barry Manilow.
I thought so, too.
Oh, yeah. Who dies that?
Barry Manilow.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to out anyone.
No, you're still on.
Barry Manilow may be not gay, but I know Elton John comes right out and tells you. That's what I like about him.
I think. Well, actually,
Barry tells you in his actions and his.
I saw Elton John's show at the Mirage. And this was
the red piano.
Yeah, you saw it?
No, but I saw the poster. Was it good?
That guy, now he's out of the closet. I guess it's like suppressing it for so long. Then he's out of the closet like crazy, you know? So he's like, he had a big video screen behind him. And so he said, a lot of people don't know what my songs are about, so it'll explain it with these giant screens behind me. So he goes, Daniel. He starts with Daniel, and that song
Daniel, my brother,
kind of confused me.
Yeah, me too.
One of my favorite Elton John songs.
But I never understood the
He's
point.
blind.
Yeah, did he go to war?
He's on a plane. It's very confusing. He goes, a lot of people always ask me what Daniel's about. He goes, I hope this explains it.
Daniel Stern
starts playing it, right? And then all of a sudden, like on all the screens, guys in Speedos diving in. Everyone was a super hot dude. I don't know if they're super hot, but to him, they were super hot.
You know they're hot.
Right. So
but that guy sounds hot. Yeah. But every song that you think has all this underlying,
it's just about a hot guy.
It's just about a hot dude what's his name?
It just turned into like a honcho magazine, right?
Yeah.
Or Hondo.
He's like, what's your name? Daniel? Yeah, I'll write you a song.
Yeah, you're hot, or whatever the hell it is.
John Wayne movie?
All right.
Mandy Patinkin was kind of hot in his day.
Mandy Patinkin, yeah. Why do you mention? Mandy,
Barry Manilow.
So not much clarity as far as the song goes, but a lot of dudes in Speedos.
Yeah. But the song was still remained as mysterious to me as when I first entered the concert. But at the end of the concert, crazy things happen. Like all of a sudden, out of the blue, like these things like expand, blow up, like that are plastic on the stage. You didn't know what they were.
Right.
Turned out there were two giant peaches and a huge banana. That represented like
subtle,
dirty.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I say this? Don't you guys feel that Stevie Ray Fromstein, by the way, instead of the way I said it the first time, in studio is going to be out at the Irvine Improv with Norm MacDonald as well Friday through.
No, he's not out.
Well, speaking of out, that's my point.
Oh, okay.
There are these like guys, these artists who used to do tons of drugs, and then they clean up, and then the music sort of sucks. I feel it's the same way with the gays. When they're closeted and struggling with their sexuality, they're writing all these songs that could only, creatively, when you're kind of turning in on yourself, and you're angry at the world, and you're angry at your parents, and then at a certain point, you get enough therapy, and you clean up, and you come out of the closet, now all your music sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I like these guys better when they're closeted and struggling. Like artists, like Mike Tyson, after he gets his paycheck for $20 million and gets a couple Bengal tigers, he stops winning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He loses the eye.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And also another thing is if the subject matter is beyond the pale of polite talk, right? Then the singer has to find subtler ways. Just as an author in the old day, Tess of the Dubervilles was very erotic, and yet, he had to use like all clean words.
Right.
So if you're writing a gay love song, you have to find more subversive ways. Now when you hear them, they're just like, Ben, or whatever it is. Daniel, I'd like to put it in your bunghole.
Meanwhile, Elton John continues to deny rumors that he is engaged to his tennis racket. TriStar's Picture is planning a film about the 70s disco act, The Village People. While the movie will be coming out next summer, it plans to wait until Thanksgiving to come out to its parents. The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist. Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and the Fruit.
There was an audition. It was Stephen Colbert and Tracy Morgan. Wow. And so Stephen Colbert did, like, you know, he was in a suit and he had like he was so professional. He goes, now, you know, Geraldo Rivera, and he put a mustache and everything was funny and well written. And then Tracy, it was Tracy's turn. And his entire thing was he played a character named Biscuit, who was a child.
Hi, my name is Biscuit. And my teacher, Miss Soto, said for me to read y'all a Christmas poem. This is it. The name of my Christmas poem is, This is My Christmas Poem.
My name Biscuit. And then when I went, so, then that night we're at dinner with Lauren, you know, you have that dinner, and he's like, what do you guys think? And I'm like, well, obviously it's Colbert. And everybody else was like, what about Biscuit? What? But then he succeeded, you know. He didn't,
when you did that
for a long time, he didn't succeed.
You started, everybody knows you got your big break on SNL. Do you remember your audition? Because I remember your audition.
How you remember?
Because I was there.
You was?
Yeah, you and I were both there in the final callback going to network in 1996.
I never worked with you. Oh, you didn't get the job. My bad. I'm sorry you didn't get the job. I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember seeing you in the ghetto.
Yeah.
And I said, what happened? What did y'all do?
The ghetto was writing for Norm MacDonald on Weekend Update. Because that's what I ended up doing that for 1 month, writing for Norm. Yeah.
Oh, you was over there. That was good.
Yeah, first one.
That was a good time.
The best story he told, I said, what was your most, like, secret fun thing that happened at SNL that, like, you know, like, what was some inside shit? And he goes, Smigel and I, Robert Smigel. If you don't know who Robert Smigel is, he's Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. He's the voice and the genius behind that. Smigel's a fucking phenomenal genius writer and comedian. He goes, Smigel and I, we used to write sketches for Tracy, because we knew Tracy Morgan. We knew Tracy, you know, he was bad in table reads. He couldn't read for shit. You know, he's a fucking stumble through words, you know? So one time we wrote this sketch that we knew was going to tank. Lauren hated it. And we showed it to Tracy anyway because we knew he had trouble reading. He had someone helping him read. He had bad time with S's. So we wrote this sketch about this guy who's like a gay animal handler named Brian Fellows. Do you remember that sketch?
Yeah.
Brian Fellows?
Brian Fellows spent 4 years in Thailand as a volunteer for and later director of the Southeast Asian Animal Rescue Project. He subsequently served as Director of Animal Operations at the San Diego Zoo and Undersecretary of the Interior for Wildlife Management.
Brian Fellows, Brian Fellows, Brian Fellows, Safari Planet.
And he goes, if you look, the best part for us was it was Brian Fellows, apostrophe S, Safari Planet. It was 3 S's in a row is the sketch that we pitched. So in the room, even though the sketch was bad, we knew Tracy would go, Brian Fellows, this is Brian Fellows, this is Safari Planet. And we knew we would crush in the room. He goes, and everybody lost it. The sketch, he was like, the sketch was terrible. But Tracy would go, Brian Fellows, this is Safari Planet. And Norm goes, and he goes, that is the funniest thing. We used to fuck with Tracy all the time.
I'm Brian Fellow! Yes, I'm well aware, and I didn't mean to insinuate anything by that. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Let me tell you, I once saw a video of a monkey washing a cat. That's crazy!
Okay. All right, this is nuts. You have
I'm
clearly
Brian
overstated
Fellow.
your credentials.
I'm
and
Brian
wasting
Fellow.
my time here.
I'm
out,
Brian
and I'm
Fellow.
taking-
Good, go. And take that monster with you and tell him to stop smiling at me.
It's a
That's
crazy
like, you
time
know,
we
you're a
live in.
cis male. Do you know that?
I'm a what?
A cis male.
Cis male?
You know what that is? A cis
No.
male? You know?
I've never heard that.
A cis male is a person who was born male, but identifies as male.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's
It used to be called a male.
So now you're a
Now
cis
it's called
male.
a cis male. It's just an effort to marginalize you, the 99.99%.
I don't want to be marginalized.
I was just in a club and I was talking about transgender, and I said, I remember when Bruce Jenner, when he won the decathlon, someone said, she. So I had to go, oh yeah, she won the decathlon.
Oh, I see. But when he was a he when he ran the decathlon?
No, he was always a she.
Oh, he was always a she. Oh, I
So
see.
a woman won the decathlon in 1976.
Right.
Without any of us.
I'm ashamed to say that I'm very confused by that.
I am.
In terms of sort of
you should be.
what one should say. I don't want to cause
course.
offense, but I don't feel like was there a memo that went round just to explain
Yeah.
exactly
Personal
what we
pronoun.
should say? And
Yeah.
because I know now there's also the idea that we remove gender at all, right? So there's no him and her,
Right.
she and he. It becomes.
But then,
what
if
do
you
we say?
But then, if you say, "Well, I always thought I was a woman," you know, well, then what does that mean? If there's no difference between the genders,
Right.
Well, how did you?
Right.
How do you feel if you had a cock and balls, right? And that would push you towards maybe you're a guy.
Right.
So and then it has to all be inside. I felt I was a woman.
Right.
You know. And so what does that mean if there's no gender? If there's no difference?
Yeah.
You know that you are a cis male. Have you ever heard of that term?
A cis male?
Cis male. CYSMALE. So what it means is that you are a man. You're born a man.
Well, as far as you know.
As far as I know. And you identify yourself as a man.
Yes.
That's a cis male.
Now I don't understand. Where does that? Is this a new phrase?
Yes, it's a way of marginalizing a normal person. So
what
you're a
does it
cis
mean?
male,
What does a cis male mean?
This other person's a trans. So you're equal. She's a man that thinks she's a woman. You're a man that thinks you're a man. It's completely
so everyone's.
equal.
It's all fluid.
Yes, everyone is self-identifying.
Yes. And I'm all for that. I think what I felt was I suddenly felt like I was causing offence unwittingly by simply not knowing what the terminology is now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm a bit behind the curve on this.
Well,
and I wonder if we could have, like, there could be a lecture, maybe you could do an informative podcast.
I'd love to have a
that
member
just
of the
explains-
LGBTQXT. But anyways, we're not here to talk about this. You know what I mean? Because people are going to start filling up your Twitter feed with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm already in trouble.
You're still, you're still
I feel
reeling
like
from
there's
the
definitely things
Savile.
I've said already that I wish I could take back. And I don't know what they are, I just know they're out there.
Yeah, you're not. I am firmly on the side of womanhood now, but I am not a woman, nor will I ever be. 3 sentences later, I use the women's restroom because I am a woman. I changed my gender on my birth certificate to female because I am a woman. So there's a little confusion there, right?
Not for me. What's wrong?
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you, go suicide, kill him.
Yeah, it's like died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
But I did want to bring up Norm MacDonald first, if you don't mind, and your thoughts on somebody who I'm sure you've known for quite some time.
Well, I didn't know he was sick at all. It's sad.
And one of the guys who loved him and always had him on the show, is a huge fan, is Jay Leno. And Jay's with us. Jay, how are you, sir?
Good. I mean...
Horrible. I didn't even know he was sick. Were you aware of that?
No, I didn't know he was sick. You know, he kept it all inside.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was a private person.
And I had a really tough reaction to this one. I didn't have no idea he was even sick.
This guy is my favorite stand-up, and I was shocked. I didn't know he was even sick.
For obvious reasons, we lost Norm MacDonald this week, which was just, I had no idea that he was even sick.
Did you know he was sick?
No.
Absolutely stunned. Had no idea that Norm had not only been very ill, but been very ill for a very long time. None of us had any idea.
I'm used to say goodbye, nothing new to me. Baby, I'm trying to survive, and I know that you believe in a world with happy endings. So tired of pretending that.
Joke after his death, it'd be something along the lines of, I was relieved to find out that I died of cancer and not that O.J. Simpson killed me.
Yep.
I think it would be kind of like the epitome of an afterlife joke from Norm there.
Also, we've asked Norm MacDonald. I'm doing the Jimmy Kimmel Show on Wednesday night, and I have not boldly at all, I have total confidence. I will open my set on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show on Wednesday night, December 3rd, with the joke that Norm MacDonald will write during this podcast. The only parameters, and it doesn't have to be this, but I'd like it to be about airport security, how intense it's gotten. Anything jump off?
What is because I've heard that it's more intense or something.
Well, the pat downs.
I need more information.
The pat downs are a little bit more invasive. People are saying that their genitals are being touched. One woman had to remove her fake breast. She had like a breast.
Well, what happened is the new scanners, some people are it's not just the metal detector, it's a scanner, and it sometimes depicts you in an embarrassing way. So more people are rejecting the scanner.
In other words, they can see you like with X-ray vision. They can see your body
So
naked.
now if you reject the scanner, which you're entitled to, you get a pat down, but the pat down is pretty thorough. And some people are saying, you can pat me down, just not, on my privates.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, no deal.
So the airlines are saying, well, you made a choice to fly, and with that choice comes what some people consider to be overstepping. Norm, let's update us. What do you got for me? Opening joke, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Wednesday night. We're looking for
what's going on?
Pat him down at the airport joke. Yeah. Now, again, no pressure. We've got another 12 minutes or so until this podcast is over.
Hey, do they ever do that thing where, isn't there somewhere they check your ass?
Yeah, it's a probe, anal probe.
Do they do that at the airport? What?
That's a bad attempt. That's a bad attempt at a joke.
Gibbons
Mike, why don't you just say it, Mike?
Gibbons.
You don't want your fucking fingerprints on it?
He's an artist. No,
the TSA might think I keep my weapons between my festive testicles and what the fuck?
My anus.
And my anus.
Hey, what are you, in third grade? That's the stupidest joke I've ever heard. No wonder you handed it to him.
He didn't read the punchline.
What's the punchline?
Can I start from this beginning?
Yeah, no, you can't.
No, but what if I thought of something?
I'm trying to keep this ABC safe. This is the Disney.
Okay.
All right. TSA might think I keep my weapons between my testicles and my anus, but they'd be right. How about...
You're going meta on meta.
You should go, TSA should know. I doubt they'll find anything on me because I keep all my weapons near my male G-spot. Give them that warning.
You want to open with that?
I love it.
If they're not on board for that,
what's a good TSA joke?
You know what? If they don't laugh at that, I give them the finger. I walk off Jimmy Kimmel stage.
I think working male G-spot into a joke is fairly new ground. I think it's kind of funny.
I want to go old ground on the first joke. I want something people can actually laugh at.
Listen, man, don't they put your fingers? Don't they put their fingers in your ass?
That's old school.
I've read that. I've heard about that.
They can put their fingers in your ass. Yeah.
Can
no,
they?
not fingers. One.
All right. Can you say that in a clean way?
Yeah, anal probe. They can do an anal probe.
Yeah.
Digit.
So can you say? Can you work? Can you? I can just give you the. I can just give you the raw ingredients of a joke.
Give me the Garofalo.
I'll give you a tablet. Okay, so it's maybe they combine it somehow and check your prostate at the same time.
That's not. I see where you're going with it. So maybe it's like, I flew.
Did I not just say male G-spot? That's what it is.
No,
Shut
but this
up,
way
Mike.
it's like a health service.
I like it. So I just flew in from New York, and good news is
there you go.
I'm not carrying any loaded weapons. The bad news is
I have
6 months to live.
to live.
It needs more
Well,
explaining.
it needs more explaining, though.
Raw ingredients.
I had a digital exam.
They gave me a digital exam at John F. Kennedy Airport.
Good news is I'm not a heroin mule. Bad news is I'm not a heroin mule.
So I just flew in from JFK, and man, I don't know how else to say this.
Is my prostate tired?
That could work.
Maybe.
Just flew in from John F. Kennedy
It's a
Airport.
little leap.
Boy is my
The screening is crazy at these airports. I
Cavity?
just flew in from JFK, and boy, is my prostate tired. There you go.
Yeah, I think
Boy,
that's
is
a word.
my cavity. Nah. It's a little leap.
I just flew in from John F. Kennedy Airport and flew in with my mother, and I had no idea she had such full round breasts.
Boy, is the security guard's finger tired. I don't know.
I just flew in from just got into the airport. I'm not saying that the exam was intense, but tomorrow night I'm meeting the guy's mother. I just flew in. They gave me an exam that was so intense. The good news, that hemorrhoid's gone.
The bad news is I have an impacted molar.
Now that's intense. That's deep.
Boy, is the TSA guy's arm tired. That's close. It's a tough TSA. It's tricky.
No, it's not. This is easy.
Is it?
Just flew in. Flight was on time. I can tell because the guy screening me's watch is up my ass.
That's a great one.
There we go. Okay, done. I'm glad I had you write a joke for me, Norm
Were
MacDonald.
you just sitting on that the whole time?
No, I just thought of that.
That's excellent.
Know that in this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I may act okay, say things will stay the same. Say them all out.
Okay, cool, man.
You're the kind of guy that likes games. Here's
Yeah, I love
a game that I thought of today. It's called Talk Your Way Out of It. I'm going to give you a situation that you're stuck in, and you're going to need to talk your way out of it somehow.
Okay.
You meet a beautiful woman. She wants to have sex with you, but she wants you to wear an afro wig. And while you're having sex with her, she's screaming racist shit at you. And then her neighbor opens the door and comes in. He's a black guy, and he's got a baseball bat.
All right, so I agree to do it.
Oh yeah,
Is that
you
what
want to
you're
have
saying?
sex with her, so
I'm doing it.
You're willing to wear the black African wig,
So
and
I'm-
she's screaming horrible racist stuff. The guy walks in, he's black, and he's got a baseball bat. He's
But
very
wait,
angry.
He walks in coito, like while we're doing it.
Yeah, her door wasn't fully locked, and the yelling was so loud. He could hear you guys from next apartment. He could hear her yelling the N-word and
I see.
fuck me. And
I got you.
And so
And
he
how do I talk? You want me to talk?
now
my
you
way out of
gotta
it?
you gotta talk to the black gentleman who's got the
Okay.
baseball bat and talk your way out of this situation.
Okay. Hey, bro, let's kill this honky bitch.
So you just commit to black. You just go.
Yeah,
I'm
go.
with you.
Come on, man, you and me, jive turkey.
And that was Talk Your Way Out of It with Norm MacDonald.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer
I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist.
Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the Fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and the Fruit.
Which brings us to two notable comedians and two friends of Gilbert's. And Gilbert, you might have to do the driving on this one. Let's start with the late, great Norm.
Yeah, I remember doing Norm's podcast. And, you know, as always, it turned with any of my comic friends who would turn like deranged.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very funny with that. He'd always talk with like a sneer, you know. It's like, and I remember right after I put that photo up a few times. It's one of my favorite photos. Afterwards, after doing Norm's show, Norm and I joined Jeff Ross and, of course, Bob Saget.
Yeah.
And I remember that being a night of just nonstop laughs.
You could tell even from the still photo
Yeah.
that you guys were ripping it up.
Yeah, it was just so much fun.
Truly original, truly original. I never met him. You know, it's funny. I'm in comedy a long time, and I know a million comedians, and I've gotten to work with a million comedians, and for some reason our paths never crossed. And we wanted to get him on this show, Gil, as you know.
Yes.
And he was Norm. So he was strangely strangely hard to pin down, or non-committal, or could do it and then couldn't do it, and.
I can't. I don't really know. You know, I know I'm working.
One of the truly great comic minds, though, and his last appearance on Letterman, where he got so emotional, you know, and in ways it sounds corny. I felt I knew him through his work, and obviously a lot of mutual friends. That Letterman appearance, really.
Gil, your appearance on his podcast, that whole podcast was so good.
It was,
and so funny.
Yeah, let's not diminish that, Gilbert. It made history, your appearance, and also the Einstein episode.
Yeah.
With Norm.
Yeah, I remember when I was on Norm's podcast. Afterwards, I just felt like I ran a marathon. It was just got crazier and crazier.
Netflix owns that show now, and they're not available to the public, unfortunately, and they're sitting on them. Hopefully one day it would be great if that podcast was re-released, because
there's that Bob Einstein episode is also legend.
Yep.
You know, what can you say about the guy? I mean, a really rare, truly original comic voice.
Oh, it just really
and I love
such
Kurt
a
Ferguson
loss.
more than life itself.
He, by the way, Norm's book, based on a true story, not a memoir, which is so funny. The audio book, he narrates it. So if you miss Norm and you've never heard him reading his book, it's brilliant.
Now I got to get it. Yeah, I regret never meeting the man. And Gilbert,
Same.
I'm glad you had such wonderful times with him.
Yes, he was a lot of fun.
It's a big loss. It's a loss for this
like
podcast,
a total smartass.
Yeah, I wish our paths had crossed. So let's move on to Bob, last but not least.
Yeah.
Which was a blow and not expected. And I will say that I had just reached out to Bob. We just recorded our 400th episode a couple of days ago, Gilbert and I reached out to Bob and I said, will you come and do this with us? And he said, I think I'm on a plane that night. And we were going back and forth and trying to arrange something. And then I sent him the link, which has been shared online. I sent him the link to Don Rickles' estate auction. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
They
I
posted
bid on a couple things.
You bid on a couple of things,
and I got none of them.
Bob's face was on a couple of items that like there was pictures of them together and a poster or something. And I said, hey, you might want to bid on some of these things. And he wrote me back and he said that this just makes me sad, actually. And he said, but life goes on. And I had said to my wife, I have to call Bob. I have to text Bob. We moved the date of the 400th episode, and I got a phone call from my sister-in-law probably 20 minutes later telling me she just heard that he was gone. It was very shocking, and still is.
And so I had just spoken to Bob like a few days before he died. And we were on the phone, and as always, the minute anything turned at all sincere or serious, we turn it to just complete filth and make it perverse, and it was always fun. And it was like, I always remember, like, when the Aristocrats came out, people were saying, can you believe Bob Saget talks like that? And to people who knew him, they said, we couldn't believe he could speak any other way.
It wasn't Danny Tanner.
No.
I didn't know him that well. I certainly didn't know him as well as Gilbert, but but that was part of him. But there was such a gentleness to the guy.
Yes.
Too. I mean, his humor was so edgy and so dark and so it could be so scatological, as you'll hear because we're rerunning the second episode that we did with him. But he didn't want to injure. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He was very, very, very sensitive guy. Did he always tell you that he loved you before he hung up the phone, Gilbert?
Yes.
As Dara shared with me, there was a real kindness to him that you couldn't miss.
And I remember I got a call from Jeff Ross who said, oh, sad news, Bob Saget died. And I swear, I thought, oh, this is going to be a funny, sick joke. And I said, oh, okay. And I was waiting for the punchline. And then he said, no, seriously, he died. And I still have a hard time grasping that.
It's a gut punch. It really is. Gilbert you made the rounds. You went on CNN. You went on television. You said some lovely things about him. But 65. I mean, it's too young. It's too big a loss for.
And it seemed like he was another one starting out again. Like he did a live show.
Yeah.
And he was really excited to be getting back to live performing. And
going back to the second podcast with him, and he started that podcast, Bob Saget's Here For You. And it did seem like he was entering another phase of his career and another phase of his life. It seemed like he was more wistful and trying more to be of service. I mean, that's why he was pleasant to be around. There really was no show business at all to the guy.
Yeah.
And he struck me, again, didn't know him well, but he struck me as also having a sadness about him. Do you think that, Gil, did you feel that?
Yeah.
A depth and a sadness about him.
And he also, he had two sisters who died.
Yeah, that's right.
One from scleroderma, which was a charity he did loads of work for.
Yes, to his credit.
And see, there's another thing that shows that what I've always said about comedy and tragedy. He made, I remember being with him a few times where he made jokes about his sister. Really deranged stuff. But then you see, he loved his sister.
Of course.
And his family was totally traumatized by it. But he could just be completely sick. I think if you could communicate with the dead and get in touch with Bob Saget, he would make completely bad taste jokes about his own death. He was that kind. He would just really
staying true to his art to the end.
Yes.
to the bitter end. It's a big loss for us personally, for Gilbert and Jeff and Stamos and obviously a lot of his friends and fans.
And I put up a photo too. I was on the beach with Jeff, and we're holding up a phone, and on the phone is Bob Saget, because we was sitting on the beach and said, "Hey, let's call Bob."
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else we can add. Rest in peace, Bob.
Well, guys, it is a bittersweet night for us tonight.
Yeah, on September 14th, our friend Norm MacDonald passed away.
That's right. Norm is the reason that I ever wanted to do Weekend Update, and so tonight we thought we'd turn the last few jokes of Update over to Norm.
Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. At the White House this week, President Clinton officially came out against same-sex marriages. What's more, the president said he is not too crazy about opposite-sex marriages either. Here we see the president and the first bitch. A new airport planned for San Diego would actually be located 3 miles out in the Pacific Ocean, built on 40 by 20-foot floating cylinders. It's all part of a plan by city officials to have a huge disaster. The Federal Aviation Administration has come up with a list of 30 changes to make air travel safer. Number 1 on the list, no more crashes. They've decided to... A French man who calls himself the Snake Man was arrested this week after climbing up the side of a Manhattan high-rise. Yep, he climbed right up the side of a high-rise, just like a snake. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. And it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later. Well, the Super Bowl is still a week away, but already the 49ers are leading 31-0. Well, the Super Bowl might be over, but the San Francisco 49ers just keep piling it on. They now lead the Chargers 83-40 to 27. So they've comfortably covered the spread. And in football news, man, this is getting ridiculous. The 49ers now beat the Chargers 1,000,655 something to 27. All right. Not good with those long numbers.
Super Bowl Sunday, and I've flown across the country to watch the game with Norm MacDonald.
I heard everyone hates that Ben Affleck is Batman.
Yeah, but they haven't seen the movie yet.
What's the movie?
Batman.
Come and sit. The football game is about to begin.
I show up during the pregame. Some celebrities crave attention or surround themselves with handlers. Not Norm. He's just a guy in an easy chair chomping down tomato sandwiches as fast as his mom can pump them out.
Do you want to sit down with us or no?
And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're gonna say the whole city's gonna go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either.
9 a.m. busy Friday morning for you, and we're all talking Super Bowl. Everybody's got an opinion on the game, including Charlie the Tortoise. Yeah, Brad from Petropolis joined us this morning, and we're going to see who he picks to win the Super Bowl. It could be the Saints, could be the Colts.
Yeah, hopefully he moves and goes to one.
All right.
He was picking them earlier.
Listen, man, have you guys seen any giant tortoises?
It's Norm MacDonald.
I actually found one.
Norm MacDonald. Yeah, we got one right here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, because I was in town.
Yeah, and you were looking
specifically to see it, and I went to the tortoise stores, but they were all regular-sized tortoises. I said, I don't want one of these, man. I didn't come here for that.
You wanted a big
You wanted a big one.
A giant tortoise.
Well, is this one big enough?
Where?
Right here, right on
What
the... Yeah, there it is. Is that one?
Good Lord.
Now, this is not just your normal giant tortoise. He's going to pick a winner for the Super Bowl.
Actually, most giant tortoises can do that. That's what they're known as.
Absolutely.
They're known for a couple of things. They're herbivores, and they're very good handicappers.
Well, let's see how this one does. This is Charlie from Petropolis.
Yes.
Brad, what's the procedure?
Okay, earlier this week I did it, and we put it on YouTube, and he just walked to one of them. I'm going to try to get him to move a little bit more, and I know Tim wants the Saints, but he picked the Colts earlier.
Apple, buddy, Apple. Go Apple.
Here's Charlie.
Now, is this cheating, you think, that I moved the Saints closer and put an apple on it? Is that cheating on
The
normal?
food is all decoration.
Yeah, it's all...
This is a natural animal. This is its instinct. Its thought process right now is going, Freeney is hurt.
That's exactly right. Way to handicap the game there. There it is, Brad. I think he's going. I think he's chosen Saints.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
He's looking over. He's asking for the line. It's 5.
Quit looking over there. We're out of time. I'm taking your Saints pick.
Yeah,
with Norm MacDonald in a minute. He's in town. You're going to check him out. Norm, you feel free to come to the kitchen.
I don't believe
if you
he's
want.
going to the Colts.
I'm going to the kitchen right now.
All right, here we go.
Norm has developed a habit for tweeting throughout sports events. He's also a veteran handicapper.
The proper bet is Denver.
Denver, okay. You wrote Deaver.
So it's worth noting, Norm has had some problems with gambling in the past, but he knows how to pick a game. The problem comes when he starts picking every game.
Well, I remember when I was hosting Saturday Night Live, I had every hockey under. There was like 14 games. When they say, oh, just gamble what you can afford, well, then there's no gamble to it. You know what I mean? What's the gamble?
Yeah. We talk football. Then we move to Russian literature, a genuine passion of his.
But Gogol was an ultra-realist.
Fact is, Norm can have a conversation about almost anything.
Put a knife in and twist it around your brain. So were the Yoko songs those experimental weird things? Now we're at a point where there's 1,011,030 guys. God damn, there's the interception.
We talk about his career, but it's not to boast. Norm rarely boasts.
It was so hard because I had to act in it, you know what I mean? And I can't act, so that was...
Head over to his other condo to watch the game with his son.
Ah, what are you doing?
Just like before, Norm sits down, opens his laptop, and we watch football.
Oh, no, that's going to look bad for Cam. You got that hit out because it takes too long.
It's no longer like I'm with a comedic genius or even an interview subject. I'm just hanging with a guy named Norm.
By the ref.
I understand why David Letterman had him on as the last stand-up of his late-night show.
He's not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh, my God.
He's just a genuine guy. Oh, and the Broncos won. They scored 24. Not bad, Norm.
That was very sweet, Norm.
Good night, everybody.
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind. Still in line.
What was the most you ever bet on an event?
$400,000.
Who was it on?
Atlanta Falcons against the Denver Broncos, 1990.
Who was favored?
The Broncos were favored by something like 12.5 points.
You took Atlanta.
I took the money line. That paid 3 to 1 or something like that, and lost. And I will tell you this. You should never bet football because the ball ain't round. I keep telling people this. And so the ball hits and then it does all kinds of crazy things and you don't know. You want to bet on a game with a round ball. Anyways, I quit. I don't know why I'm even saying that.
At Virginia Commonwealth University, a professor is being sued following revelations that he spanked one of his students. It was the student's parents who first became suspicious when they asked, "What kind of marks are you getting?" And she replied, "Big red ones on my ass."
This is what's the problem with our society, though.
What is it?
When they go, hey, the hardest job in the world is being a mom.
It's
or the
pretty
hardest
hard.
job in the world is being a teacher.
It's hard jobs.
That's not.
They're hard jobs.
My mom was a teacher. Let me
she
tell
had
you
the two
something.
hardest jobs. I think
She had the
cooking is a
easiest
harder
job.
job.
The teacher is probably the easiest job on the planet.
Why?
Let me
How
explain
can you
why.
say that?
First of all, my mother and my father were both teachers. They got all the you get all the vacations that children do. You're always off. You have the entire summer. You have 2 weeks Christmas, 2 weeks Easter. You work in an atmosphere where it's just you and children.
With young, stupid, with short, stupid people.
Yeah.
They don't know much. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't have to learn anything.
They're all frightened of you. You can say anything you want.
You never take a test.
See, I don't know if you've ever
That's
gone.
true.
I go now. When I was a kid, I thought my teachers were so smart. Now I have a kid. I meet these teachers. They're not smart at all.
How can you say that?
Because it's true.
They're just like regular goofy people.
Well, that's
And they
that's
have
what you realize.
and they have the only. My kid's teacher went crazy, and they could not fire her because of.
Because the job's so hard, the kids made her crazy.
Yeah, but she has whatever you call it, tenure. They don't have that in any other job.
No, I know.
They have a union that has a stranglehold on.
They got to fire you before your tenure starts.
Yeah.
That's one of the
They
things.
got to fire you from the easiest job ever. And they're
Your babysitter's funny.
Those are heroes. Those are also the heroes. They're like the real heroes are the moms and the teachers.
Well, they are.
Not the guys on Iwo Jima planting a flag.
Okay, they were heroes too.
Not the firemen that run into buildings. No.
No one's denying
It's
that
a
those
teacher.
people are heroic.
It's a person that
A
shows
good-
up at a school
a
and is the
good
tallest person in the
teacher.
class.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's a good
I'm
one.
telling
You got
you, my mom and dad were both teachers. It's the simplest job in the world. When I was a kid, I thought everyone got that much vacation. I was like shocked to learn that I thought everyone had the summer off. I thought everyone had 3 weeks off for Christmas.
Well, when you're doing your own sitcoms, surely you have 6 months a year off. I mean, that has to be teacher-esque.
Exactly. It's teacher-esque.
Don't they say that having a sitcom is about the closest you can get?
That's about the hardest job in the world.
No, shut up.
Yeah, those are
That's
the real
easy
heroes.
fun. Oh my God, you're making the people laugh. 805 says, "Rude. I'm a second grade teacher and I hate you."
Rude. That sounds like a second grade teacher.
Now, Jimmy, that was just rude. Can you think of another way to say that?
To be a second grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically you need third grade intelligence. To teach second grade. You know everything that they need to know. But a fourth grade teacher,
Let's take a couple of calls here. Actually, a couple texts. If you only need third grade intelligence to teach second grade, I wonder what Norm would say about me, a preschool teacher.
Well, it's kind of obvious.
And the 503 says, "Norm, thanks for Dirty Work. Still one of the greatest movies ever."
What do I need to teach children how to nap?
Maggie, you're on the air. It says here being a teacher, super duper hard work.
Yeah, you know, I was an attorney for several years. I went to Bolt Law School, and I quit being an attorney to be a teacher. And being a teacher is much more difficult work.
Is it super duper hard?
That's what it says here.
You know, I did not say super duper hard. That was either a human.
Yeah, human put that in your subject line.
There.
Do you talk about your childhood a lot? Because I was reading about you the other day, and when you were in high school, your father was your homeroom teacher?
Oh, yeah, probably in grade school, yeah.
Oh.
How'd that work out?
Was he mean and strict?
He was a tough guy, yeah. He was tough. He was tough. He was, it was odd. He didn't graduate from school himself. Because he was old when he had me. He was like 50, so he was in World War II.
Yeah.
And so, you know, grew up in the Depression, and then he went to World War II, and then he came back, and they said, oh, we have this special thing, you'd be a teacher, you know. But he only had like a grade 9 education.
And they let him be a teacher?
Well, he was teaching grade 5, so he was highly overqualified.
This was in Quebec, right?
Yeah, Quebec. If I could say one thing about the real heroes of the country, which I believe are the teachers, you know. I don't believe they're the real heroes. I misspoke again. I think the real heroes are the real heroes. Teachers, they get good press though, because people often say to me, you know who the real heroes are? I go, are they the real heroes? They go, no. I go, oh, they're the teachers. It's counterintuitive that it doesn't seem like a heroic job, but yes. First of all, if you're a teacher, you get the same fucking vacations as a child. You get, like 4 months a year off. My vacation? I get almost no time off. We're 48 weeks a year. So 4 weeks a year I get off. What about you? You're not one of those fucking teachers, right? You seem like a teacher. Now, are you a teacher? What do you teach? What grade? High school. What grade? What grade? No, but what grade? Not so easy when it's the other way around. It's always easy to ask the questions. The real heroes are the fucking students. I actually have to answer the question. Now, what grade do you teach? 9 through 12. So you need a grade 13 education. You're the real hero. No, you're the real hero. No, I'm just kidding. You're the real hero. Our husband said, you're not the real hero. Shut the fuck up. I know, it's a fun thing to say. But what do you do? What do you do for a living that your wife's the real hero? What? You know you're not the actual real hero, don't you? You look obsessed. Did you see how upset she is? So you actually feel you're the real hero? See, I think you've disqualified yourself a little. Because I believe real heroes don't think they are. Because when you hear the real heroes, they go, how the fuck did you run into that fucking fire and pull a guy up? You're a hero. And they go, no, it's the teachers. Not me. I'm a little scared now. I gotta go lie down. Gotta pull the guy out of a fire. That's a good job. Come on. Everybody's shorter than you? Are you work it? You have to do whatever the fuck you said? No, I'm sorry. What did you say? What? Oh. teacher to you? I didn't know that people that were teaching our young children were bandying around words like retard. I'm just kidding. No, they do a lot of good. You know what I read, actually, though? A serious statistic. They actually fuck more students than... Talk to a hero. No, they actually fuck more students, if you can believe this, than priests. You know how priests... Nobody likes priests. Nobody's going around with priests are the real hero. And yet, actual priests, who I know, I'm not a Catholic, but I know pastors, you know, and my God, they most of them that I know do the Lord's work, you know. I mean, they go out and they're in hospitals and stuff, and they're doing stuff, and for no money, you know, and no recognition, and it's got to kill them, like going, yeah, people think, fuck kids. Like, if I was a priest, man, I just let it be known. Like, I do a TV commercial. I go, hey, listen, I'm Father Norm here. Come on down to my church. I won't fuck your kid. I'll tell you that. That's the first thing, I promise you. I'll tell you a little something about myself. I'm Father Norm, as I've told you, and 20 years or so ago, I took a vow of chastity. Now, what that means is I cannot have sex with a lady, you know? Now, that's tough, because I like ladies, and especially the ones, you ever see those ones where they press their tits together, kind of, they got a little cleavage on, but they look kind of hoary, but it looks like they don't know they're whores. Anyway, that's my type. Everybody has their own type. The point is, I don't even fuck them, let alone a child, for God's sake. Why would I want to fuck a child? So anyways, go down to Father Norm's. I will not fuck your kid. And you can leave your big-titted whore wife at home. I don't need that fucking woman hanging around asking me questions all the time. It's jumpy. You gotta admit, though, the guy that put that flag in the Iwo Jima, he's close. That guy went to the moon. He didn't know that when he got there, the fucking spacecraft would crash, or there'd be moon aliens or shit like that. I mean, I know he's not. I know it's not grade 11 biology, but I mean, it's something. It's something. Imagine any fucking other fucking job, you know, you go, hey, I'm the civil servant, I'm a hero, you know, you're fucking retarded, but a teacher, memorize this shit. Back tomorrow, and then you gotta tell it to me. Remember everything I say, and then repeat it to me. I got some problems for you. I know you're a child, and that you don't have any problems. That's the cool thing about being a child, but guess what? You fucking got some now. I've got some heroic work to do. Sure, you're a nice lady. Very, very heroic. But, listen, guys. In science, do you teach Newton? Isaac Newton? You know, what are you, retard? Isaac Newton? There's kind of a... The hero that called me a retard is actually a retard herself. Everything's turned on its elbow. I'm sorry, what? A treadmill? Have I seen one? Wait, I don't even get it. It's not good when people are groaning and I don't understand it. No, have I ever seen a treadmill? Yes, of course. You mean the things you walk on? Yeah, I've seen it millions of times. What? I am a retard. Yeah, you walk on them. They're in gyms and they don't. No, that's not a treadmill. You remind me of these fucking teachers I used to have. I said yes, I thought it was it. I'm pretty sure I have seen a treadmill, no matter what you say. It's a thing you walk on and then, right? You're not what? You wouldn't be sure that I'd seen a treadmill? Well, you see, you're probably very bad at grading people. At some point, when you ask a student a question, and they give you an answer, you have to take them on faith. Well, there'd be no motive for me to lie about that question. I've seen dozens, hundreds. I don't want to brag, but you know, I've been around. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen treadmills you wouldn't understand. Baby, I don't think I'll ever see you.
It's been so long since you came around. Need one more chance to make this right. So stay till the morning.
I'm not Catholic, but I know.
You have a priest anyway?
I know a priest.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for them because most of them don't fuck children. I just want to put that on the record, that more teachers fuck children than priests, and yet teachers are heroes and
Finally, someone brave enough to say it, which is great.
And finally, in Burien, Washington, elementary school teacher Mary Kay Letourneau pled guilty this week to having sex with a 6th grade student whose child she bore in May. Miss Letourneau has been branded as a sex offender, or as the kids refer to her, the greatest teacher ever.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So. Yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So. I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. think it was something like Hideki Arabu. Something like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. This seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're gonna say the whole city's gonna go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating. And my goodness, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, it's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
McDonald, I think, still with us, the actor comedian.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
You do a great job of always making me uncomfortable. When you hosted the ESPYs that one time.
Oh, you were there. I remember that.
Oh my God, you had jokes, but they weren't directed at me. I was uncomfortable, and they weren't even directed at me.
Yeah, I have this thing where I don't even know when I do bad, but that happens to me a lot. I come off, I go, hey, that went pretty well, right? They're like, well, everyone left. I'm like, oh.
Well, we were thinking about you the other day because the ESPYs was on, and one of our favorite things to watch, and every once in a while, like Deadpan or somebody, every time the ESPYs rolls around, they'll put up
they show the whole
which was absolutely brilliant, but apparently not making many friends over at ESPN when you did that.
They won't have me back as an ESPY host.
What did they say to you after it was done?
No, they didn't say anything.
That's not good. Did anyone handle it poorly, like any of the athletes? Did they? Because you would figure that you go, all right, I'm getting my balls busted a little bit, but this is what this event is all about, and he's a comedian.
Because is there anyone who takes themselves more seriously than athletes?
No, I didn't even stupidly. I didn't even know it was going that bad, and then
it went great. By the way,
it was hysterical.
Yeah, the audience liked it. The New Yorkers,
people liked it.
Yeah.
The only people that didn't like it are those idiots that started the stupid ESPY Awards in the first place for athletes that are already winning awards for their sports. Oh, I don't know, and games.
It was weird the other night to see the Dallas win game of the team of the year.
Yeah,
and come up in their suits.
Yeah, like hooray! Now we've really done it. Yeah. Now we have this meaningless thing to go along with our world championship trophy and all the money that we've accrued. Yeah, that's exactly. Now since the parade's over and the trophies have been given out and the bonuses have been given out, now I get to stand here like an idiot with some stupid award made for television. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is up to the comedian and the host to save it.
Yeah. The ESPYs looks like it doesn't have as much. I watched it. They did a big long thing before Seth even went out. They didn't have that much comedy in it. They had a couple of sketches, but There's a lot of amazing things, but it'd be soccer and stuff. Where you can't even tell if it's a good goal. But it was cool. And then they had some guy that I never even heard of that was in jail for 50 years.
Oh, you know what? It's the Arthur Ashe Award. They deserve it. Listen, it's great that they do it, and it's awesome because, from what I saw of it, before I started fast forwarding, it was very good. But that thing must have been like 15 minutes long.
Oh, it was forever.
It was really, really long. And at some point, people are just going to, like me, go, okay, I understand this guy's story. When are we going to give another award? And you just fast forward right
was
through.
that guy a famous athlete?
I don't know.
I was watching it in fast forward. Apparently, the 15 minutes didn't describe very well what his situation was.
At the end, he got out of jail. He was 50, and he took boxing in jail. But I don't think he did anything.
Oh, he's just like, hey, I warded off rape.
Yeah.
With these fists.
Well, and then the sports thing hasn't worked out because the ESPYs too. You were the greatest host in the ESPYs history. You were the only good thing about the ESPYs ever, and they didn't invite you back after that one either. It's something about you and sports are not melding well.
Well, sports, they don't take them. They take themselves a little seriously. Like they don't they don't need anybody making jokes about them and stuff. They also don't need to be on shows. Like that's why it never works with like interview shows and stuff. When it's just sports guys because. First of all, if they go on a talk show, they're not even trying. You know what I mean? They're just, hey, what's going on? They're just giggling at the host, kind of, because it doesn't help their career to go on a talk show.
Yeah.
No,
it happens all the time.
Yeah. So they just, and they've had everything like handed to them their whole life, so they're not interesting people very much.
Were people mad at the ESPYs? I find that 8-minute stretch you did as one of the greatest things ever. I mean, the look on people.
They were bad, yeah. But
they
I
were
didn't realize
so uncomfortable.
I didn't realize it at the time because, like, the ESPYs, like, it's in Radio City Music Hall, so 95% of the audience is just New Yorkers. And then right in the front, it's 4 rows or something, are all the athletes.
Yeah, like
right?
Dean Smith is giving you like that tisk, how dare you? Who the hell is this guy?
I know, but me, like an idiot, I never saw that because I didn't have monitors or anything. So I was doing well in the room because it was like the New York audience. You can't really see out. But then when I later saw it on TV, it would just cut to scowling black athletes.
The O.J. Simpson joke at the end.
Ken Griffey Jr. didn't care for it. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did people come up to you afterwards, like the O.J. stuff, and when you were making fun of Tiger Woods? I mean, did people come up afterwards and like confront you, or just say anything, or did you?
Well, Ken Griffey was really mad for some reason. I don't really know why. And he was like, yeah, that was really funny, man, really funny, like real sarcastic. And then I said, hey, man, listen, I just want to tell you one thing. I go, there's never going to be a guy, never going to be a player like your dad. That guy was the best. There'll never be anybody close to that guy.
What did he say?
He just looked at him. He didn't know what to do because what are you going to do? Go, my dad, I'm way better than him. But you knew that's what was in his head.
What did you say about him in the show?
I didn't say anything. I said it was an OJ joke or something. And it just cut to him like with a crazy look on his face, like, what, huh? What?
Yeah, they didn't like the OJ jokes. Neither did Saturday Night Live. You got in trouble on Saturday Night Live for doing the OJ stuff,
it's
too.
It's kind of bizarre because I always thought, like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to believe anybody would believe that he wasn't guilty, but I will say this, though. Like, because every black guy I knew, like, would go, like, I go, you think he's really innocent? And they go, yeah, kind of, but you could tell, like, they maybe not, but they were just backing him up. So, but then I was like, that's weird. But then I understood it later because when Robert Blake killed his wife, or allegedly did, I loved Beretta.
You're like, oh,
yeah, so I was like, I don't care. I just want him to. I don't really care. I don't know who this lady is. Like, but it'd be cool to have. I don't want Beretta to go to jail. I don't know. So
that's the white man's equivalent of O.J. Simpson is Beretta.
Exactly. Beretta with the cockatoo and stuff. You can take that to the bank, right? Wasn't that the greatest movie? Remember when you were a kid watching Beretta and like all the other cop shows,
like the
were
Equalizer and things like that.
Yeah, then you see Beretta be like, just Martin Scorsese's TV show. It's all gritty and.
It's a great name for a TV show too.
What?
Beretta.
I guess.
Norm MacDonald with us, based on a true story. It's available September 20th.
We're going to do Celebrity Prognosticator with him in just a second. But he's an unusual person, and he likes awkward comedy. Most people are not comfortable with awkward comedy.
He likes to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, and
great.
And there's never been anything in the history of the ESPYs better than his monologue. So I want to go back there for a second with Norm. Thank you for making time for us. What do you remember most about all of that ESPYs thing that you did that made everyone uncomfortable and was hugely great, and instead of celebrated, got everyone mad?
Oh, hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Norm.
No, this is what happened. I'm sure you guys have been to the ESPYs.
Yes.
No.
And, it's a lot of fun. They'll go like, and now for best football team, you know, I know the guy that won the Super Bowl, you know. So they get an award. And so I was doing my stand-up, but the audience is like 90% just New Yorkers, you know. And then right at the first few rows are all the athletes. And so the New Yorker guys liked me. But stupidly, I didn't realize that they were showing pictures like behind me of you know, Ken Griffey scowling and stuff, you know, because they all hated my jokes.
John Elway was mad. Did you actually say why the long face to John Elway?
I was against that joke. That was Will Ferrell. He said, "Get some teeth" or something like that. I don't know what he said. Well, why the long face? I did say, but that's okay. But no, Will took on his teeth, and I was like, "Oh, don't do that."
Who was most upset with you after that night?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Really?
Did he say
Yeah,
something?
they told me, like after the show, they were, you know, there's this big party, and they were always like, you know, all through the show, this party's going to be great. And then at the end, I go, "Where's that party?" And they're like, "Nah, I probably should just go back to the hotel."
That's how you learned that you were not invited to Ken Griffey Jr.'s party?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you remember most about that night? Is there one joke that you're particularly proud of, and you tend to be someone who doesn't, you know, you don't do a lot of reveling in the past. You move on. But is there anything in particular that you are proud of there?
Well, Woodson won the Heisman that year.
That's a good joke.
And so I said, you know, they can never take that away from you unless you kill your wife and a waiter.
It's so good, man. It's such a good joke. It really is.
And the last time I saw him was at the Comedy Store. And he was uncharacteristically emotional.
Yeah.
Like when we parted company, he was. And there's a picture of me and him and like the back of Chris Rock said, I put it in my special. That picture that's in the end of the closer was the last time that I saw him.
The last time I saw him with any regularity was we all went on a tour to do just stand-up, like
the three of you guys.
it was
I had a couple other guys.
funny because we had a text chain of a bunch of us, and
Oh, yeah,
we would
we had
all
a
fuck
text
around.
chain. Yeah.
And then one time he was arguing with Schneider about something and about stand-up, and he goes, "I'm the best comic out of all of us," and everyone went, "Yeah."
I saw him at the SNL 40th, and I didn't know he had cancer or anything, but I remember as soon as he saw me, he was like, "I love you, Molly." Just he blurted out right away.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, oh, I just had a sense of like, I could feel that he had this kind of urgency to say exactly what was on his mind in the moment.
Right.
Because maybe he'll never have that moment again.
Sometimes
Q&A.
he'd be late in the morning because we're all taking off, and I would just go, "Hey, no, man, we got to get to this place," and he'd give me a look, and then after he passed away, then I realized he was giving me a look like, "What the fuck do you want from me? I'm going through some shit, man." But he'd be like, "Yeah, all right, you know."
On the bus or backstage, he would come in and do bits. He wanted to keep. I like that, you know, when people are still funny and he's a good laugher, and that's always nice when a comic is a good laugher too, instead of just only going one way with it. They like to crack up with people, and that was a fucking blast. Did you wear a cowboy hat the whole time? Like
yeah, he
like
bought a cowboy hat.
smoking
Norm all of a sudden
Norm,
was cowboy hat
it's
walking
so
around.
weird, yeah. Like,
He could do that. He did get emotional a lot, though. Like on the whole tour, he would just all of a sudden get really teary-eyed and stuff, and he'd be like, "This is wonderful!" Like this, the tour itself, and like hanging out, and we'd have dinners and breakfasts and shit. And he was more. He'd just be so much fun to see. He had so much energy to hang.
Do you remember the last time that you had seen him?
I hadn't seen him for a while, but the last time I saw him was at a bar by our place, and he would watch. He was a big gambler, but the last time I talked to him, when I was quarantined in Minnesota, he would I'd text him and I go, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And he goes, "What? Who's this?" And he would do this all the time. I go, "It's fucking Nick, dude." And he goes, "Nicky, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing, I'm quarantined." And he goes, "You didn't stand up?" And I'm like, "No, the fuck? I wasn't doing stand up." And he goes, "What's your plan?" And I go, "I don't know, I'm gonna kick it here, and then I think I'm gonna go to Key West." And I go, "I might just retire though and just move to Reno and just get like a residency, and then I'll just live in Reno and just work there, just be like an old comic."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Sort of God," he goes, that's a good idea." And I go, "Yeah, I don't know, whatever." He goes, "No, maybe I'll join you. We'll both headline Reno." And I go, "Dude, Reno's fucking a mess." I go, "No, I don't want to do that." So I go to Key West. A month later, he calls me. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm in Key West. What's up with you?" And he goes, "When are you going to Reno?" And I go, "Dude, that was a joke. I'm not moving to fucking Reno and retiring as like a comic." And he goes, "Fuck, I thought it was a good idea." And I'm like, "No." And so that's the last time I talked to him. And then his closest friend, Lori Joe, I hit her up after Norman passed, and I was like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" And she goes, "One of the last things before Norm died, one of the last things he talked about was moving to Reno with you."
No.
Yeah, and I go, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Yeah, he was like, he really wanted to do that." And I was like, "Oh," and then that made me cry again. And yeah, it was just, that was Norm. It was awful.
Damn.
I'll tell you, I have so many Norm stories, but this is one of my favorites. And I was on tour, me, Sandler, Spade, Rob Schneider.
Joining us now, comedian Tom Green is on the line. Norm was a frequent guest on Tom's talk show and a friend of his. Tom, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's such a sad day for comedy and for everybody who loves comedy, and just wanted to send my condolences and sympathies to Norm's family and friends and all of his fans here in Ottawa and around the world. As you mentioned, he was from Ottawa. He went to Gloucester High School, as you mentioned. I always considered him an Ottawa boy there, eh? And, when I was a kid, I started doing stand-up comedy myself in Ottawa at Yuck Yucks, and that was before Norm had made his big, had his big break, and was before he was on SNL. And I was probably 15 years old, going down to the basement of the Beacon Arms Hotel where Yuck Yucks was at the time on Albert Street. And Norm was probably in his mid-20s, and he was unlike anybody I'd ever seen on stage. A different kind of comedy than I'd ever seen on television or anywhere. Just the acerbic, sarcastic, surprising delivery, and you mentioned his deadpan voice and delivery was something that was very new, and it made me very inspired as a kid because I knew he was from Ottawa, and here he was up on stage being funnier than anybody I'd ever seen on TV. And shortly after those first years of starting stand-up, we heard that Norm had moved to Los Angeles. He was writing for the Roseanne show. And it just was amazing to think that somebody who was doing stand-up at Yuck Yucks only a year earlier was now living in Hollywood. And then Saturday Night Live, and his incredible career afterwards was something that was just so inspiring to me as a kid in Ottawa who wanted to do stand-up, and it made me so happy when I eventually did move down to Los Angeles myself and was doing my show that Norm was very generous with his time. I don't know if it was because I was from Ottawa and I grew up on Monson Crescent just down the road from Jasper where he grew up, and we sort of would have a laugh about that. But he would come to my show, and when I was doing my internet talk show in my living room in the early 2000s, and we would just sit up there on air and stream before web streaming was a thing, and have laughs like you wouldn't believe.
What was he like as a guest, Tom? What was it like to have him on the show?
Well, he was just, the thing about Norm is he's just such a brilliant guy too, and he would find ways to talk about subjects that you wouldn't normally find yourself talking about, and then he would find comedy in them in places that you would never expect. And his just delivery was just, of course, incredible. His whole way about him was very, very unique and just hilarious. And for me, I was like I said, I was so in awe of him that it made for an interesting show, because I was just so excited that he was coming up to my house, and he would come up time and time again. And I remember we would do the shows, and on the shows we would go live and we would take calls on the internet from people, and he would just always catch people off guard with really irreverent and ridiculous comebacks and jokes. But then after the show would end, this happened every time the show would end, and I was in my house at the time was in the Hollywood Hills, looking over the city of Los Angeles, and the show would end around midnight, and then Norm would want to stay, and we would end up going and sitting in my office. And at the time, YouTube was kind of a new thing, and we would just sit there late into the night watching comedy on YouTube, watching old Chris Farley bits or old Saturday Night Live pieces or interesting, hilarious viral videos that we'd found, and we'd just sit up and
he just wanted to hang out, Tom.
Yeah, it really did feel like that, and that was the thing that always made me feel so great when I did that show was we tried to have people just come and hang out, but and I would invite up people that I loved and was respected and wanted to get to know in comedy, but it was always made me feel so nice that Norm would sort of stay there after every time, and we got to know each other really well, and it's such a sad day, for me personally. I just found out about this when everyone else did. He really did keep this quiet. I did not know that he was battling cancer. As a cancer survivor myself, I know how complex and stressful that can be. It makes me, it surprises me that and I wish in some ways that he'd reached out to me and talked to about it, because I could have been there for him as a cancer survivor. But I think it's probably, I'd like to think that he must have felt there was some element of surprise. He always felt that it was good to have an element of surprise in a joke, that a good joke, a great joke, has to surprise you, and that was his style on stage, and it seems to be that might be maybe his final point was to catch us all off guard one last time, a showman to the end. Rest in peace.
Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing these wonderful stories. It's such a fitting, lovely tribute to somebody who meant so much clearly to you and to so many listeners, a comedy legend. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much. Rest in peace, Norm MacDonald, and thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
You take care, Tom Green. Comedian Tom Green calling into the show, new Norm MacDonald. Spent some time with him as a friend, as somebody that he worked with, because, as he said, Norm would come on his talk show. And they got to know each other that way. Both of them also with that Canadian connection.
You say I don't listen. I tell you I try. And we both got our own problems. But
So I said, I can think of something. I can handle it,
because for like Letterman or somebody like that, it's real hard. You have to be really on the top of your game, as you know.
Right, yeah.
Because he's real funny. But The View, it's not that tough, to keep up with.
Right, sure.
Star Jones or whatever, whoever they are. So
Barbara Walters there, though.
Yeah,
she's tough to keep up with, right? I don't know what that means.
So I'm like, I'll be fine. That's what I kept telling the guy. So the guy's like, but that's their job, So this guy would always have ideas. He would phone me with ideas. He'd go,
This goes on for weeks before the appearance, right?
Weeks.
It's almost like it becomes like work.
It is. Talking to that guy is harder than talking to the host,
Yeah.
And he's excited, and it's his job, so I don't want to. So he'd be like, what if he came out in a red wig? I like, what the fuck? Why would I do that, right? He's like, the gals have been teasing Barbara about, tinging her hair. I'm like, no, but then it'll look like my idea, and then I got a red wig on, and
Right,
I have
yeah.
to take
You
it
don't
off.
want to take part in their
So,
silliness.
Just over and over, every time. And he goes, well, do you have anything? I go, no, I can't think, but I'll think of something, So he says, anyways, one of the ones he phones me, he goes, I'll tell you what you do, man. He goes, you come out. He goes, you're talking to the gals, and all of a sudden, your cell phone rings, right? He goes, it's in the middle of the show. Like, he's really excited, right? He goes, you answer the cell phone. You go, excuse me, ladies. He goes, we're not going to tell them about it. And the cell phone rings. He goes, excuse me, ladies. It's your agent, Morty. He had this name.
Right. Yeah.
He goes, so you're like, Morty, you can't call me here. I'm on The View. I'm on TV.
Right.
What do you mean you have an offer for me? And I had this crazy Jewish accent in the story. What do you mean? I can't do it. I'm on The View. So I'm like, yeah. I didn't want to, you don't want to hurt people's feelings, So I'm like, no, that one's, it sounds pretty good, but maybe I'll think of something else,
Right.
He was so excited.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is getting to be a long story.
No, it's fine. We can actually stay on the air as long as we want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I get there. So anyways, I'm really late, right? Because I had a big hand at this poker game.
Right.
So
you show up right before you gotta go on the air.
Show up. So I'm going. I go. I got the story about Bill Cosby. I'll do that. I know how to do that story. I did it before on Letterman, and it'll be fine. So I go in. And I tell the guy, listen, man, I do this story about Letterman. So I walk out. Now unbeknownst to me, as I was walking out, this guy had muttered something. I hadn't slept for like 3 days. And it's just the phone call, So I go, oh, yeah. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he had slipped like a cell phone. He put a cell phone in my pocket.
Oh.
So anyways, I got out there. And then...
He'd slipped a cell phone in your pocket.
Yeah, thinking I was in for this gag, right?
And it's all set to
but
ring.
I forgot.
You forgot about it.
I forgot about it.
Okay.
So,
and all hell breaks loose,
So
obviously.
I go out to the View, and those 4 bags are sitting there.
Oh, come on.
So, no, ladies,
Yeah.
women,
Yeah.
It's not politically correct to say bag.
No.
But
Was
you
Rosie
got
wasn't
Michael
there.
Richards is saying the N word. I
Yeah.
can't say the B word.
No, you can say that, absolutely.
I want to talk later about now they have the F word for fag, which is really strange.
Yeah.
But
the guy from Grey's Anatomy got in trouble for saying.
the N guy, the N word guy.
The F word.
No, but he was an N word guy, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
That was the irony.
Everybody's.
No, he was African American.
Everybody's going nuts out
He
there.
was African American.
Yeah. Said the F word. He said
It'd be
the F
funny
word.
if you were an African American. If you were a racist, you would not say African American. Maybe you'd say the A word.
What's the A word?
The African American.
Oh yeah.
But so I go on the View.
Yeah.
So this is what had happened to me a month previously. This was whenever the first election was, the Bush.
Right.
Bush against
Gore.
Al Gore.
Yeah.
The first time, right? I know nothing about politics, And so. But
This
what
is
happened-
right after the election?
This is before the election.
Okay.
Before the first election. So what happened was I got a call from this guy, Ben Stein. You know that guy?
Sure, yeah.
So he said, how'd you like to meet George Bush? He's running for president, So I go, holy fuck, that would be cool, meet a guy running for president. Maybe later he'll become president, and I'll be his buddy, because this is how naive I was, because I knew him like 2 months before he became president.
Right.
So in Hollywood, obviously very liberal, right? So so Gore showed up, and it was like Barbara Streisand and every giant star in Hollywood, right? So when Bush plane came down, literally, it was me and Ben Stein. We were the we were the celebrities.
Right.
So, it was really lame. And then when George Bush came out with his wife, he said to her, "See, I told you he'd come about me."
Right.
They were expecting maybe it would just be Ben Stein. They were really happy that two celebrities.
Right, sure.
You know, and real peripheral celebrities. So, but it was cool because everyone hates George Bush and stuff. So I got to go on his airplane and talk to him. I talked to the guy for an hour. And
Got to
stuff.
hang out with him.
Yeah. So it was really cool. You know, I don't know anything about politics, but it's cool to meet the guy that's going to be might be the president. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
What did you talk to Bush about on his plane?
I talked to him about, well, I don't know shit about politics, but he didn't know much either.
He hadn't really been elected yet.
No, he hadn't been elected and everything, and I told him some jokes, and he sometimes he'd go like, "There's mics or something like that."
Yeah,
it's not a very interesting story.
Right, that's cool.
But see, it's a many.
This guy's been just sitting here listening to the whole story.
That's why
we haven't even introduced ourselves to him yet. What's your name?
My name is Dagan.
Where are you?
I'm just outside Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so you're about to walk out.
Yeah, so I go on The View, right? Yeah. And I'm supposed to I said, I'll talk about the Bill Cosby story, you know? So, anyways, the lady from The View goes, take a look at this picture. And show a picture of me standing beside presidential nominee George Bush. And then they're like,
you're on The View now.
Yeah, I'm on The View. And they're like, what's going on here? That's what the lady says to me, one of the ladies, right? Like it was a fucking
Which
picture
was it? Star
of,
Jones, Meredith Vieira?
Who's the fat black one?
Well, Star Jones left the show, though. She's not on there.
There was a fat African American.
Star Jones, I think. Yeah,
that was the
she
lady.
lost a lot of weight later too.
Yeah.
It was big. There was a big brouhaha over there.
Was there?
Yeah, but yeah. So she asked you that.
So she's like, "What's going on here?" Right? And it's just a picture of me with a guy running for the president. But the way they said it, it was like that picture of Kurt Waldheim with Hitler in the fucking woods, right? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what's wrong with this, right? So just to be crazy, kind of like, and just because they got under my skin, I don't know nothing about politics and nothing. I said, well, it's better than that guy that's in there now. That guy murdered a guy, Bill Clinton, right?
Right.
And then they're like, what? And I go, they go, what? So I go, he murdered a guy, remember? Some guy killed him because I remember somebody died.
Right, sure, yeah. Someone who had committed suicide. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I heard a crazy conspiracy thing that they killed him.
So you just start, yeah.
I'm like, he killed, don't you remember that? You know, but I'm acting like everybody knows it. I'm just acting like a retard. And then Barbara Walter goes, you're walking a pretty thin line, mister. And I'm like, I thought it was a matter of public record. Barbara, you're a newswoman. Back me up, you know. It kept going on, and it was like, fucking, you know. And I remember she kept going like, "You're one piece of work, mister." Like getting really.
Really,
like,
really taking you seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not remembering that you know the jokes on
shit,
Weekend Update were.
So I just did it to be like stupid, and then so there's just like. You know, the audience like confused, you know, and the ladies are all angry. All of a sudden, I hear like coming out of the thing like ding, ding, like it's a fucking fire alarm or something. What the fuck is that? And then I remember it's my phone, you know, my cell phone, this joke.
Oh, yeah.
The producer backstage saw that everything was going to hell and decided to fix it, you know. So like I go, I go, Marty, man, this is a bad time to call because all the ladies hate me now and stuff like that, you know. And Barbara Walters goes, what the hell are you doing? Like she's just...
Right.
I go, I know I'm a little scared. I go, I don't know. The guy backstage, he told me that it would be funny if I pretended my agent Morty called. And then there was like about 5 seconds of silence. And Barbara Walters said, we'll be right back. And then they gave me the boot.
That is on YouTube right now? That's on YouTube right now, apparently, Bill. Yeah. Have you queued it up? No, I don't have it yet. Oh, you don't have it? We should try to find that. Oh, my, that's uncomfortable, huh? Have you been asked back?
No.
No?
I thought it was fun.
Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. You love those uncomfortable moments, though, right?
I like it, yeah. Like with stand-up, if I bomb, I really, really like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you ever get like that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Every night here.
I always think about this. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. This is my favorite weekend update joke of all time that I think about often. It is a perfect Norm joke. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes.
The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes.
SNL 40th was a few years ago. I got to stand on stage with Colin Quinn and Kevin Nealon and Norm. And the SNL 40th was a night where everyone just got a couple things to say. There was in an effort to find, and I remember laughing really hard, not at what Norm was saying as much as the idea that any of us thought Norm would play by anyone else's rules on any night.
We here are mere utility infielders. But right now, I'm going to introduce a man.
Right now? Over the years, I started at SNL in 2001. And I remember one time Norm walked back into the studio to visit. I don't remember how old his son was at the time, but his son was young. And someone said, "Hey, Norm, how's being a dad?" And he said, "It's going great. Still no abductions." That's the first thing I ever heard him say in person. My son was watching you on Update and said to me, "You talk like Seth Meyers." And he told me that when he said that, he said, "Oh no, my son doesn't know how time works." He was the gold standard, and he will continue to be the gold standard. And
how do you figure out how much to share about what goes on behind the scenes at SNL? Because I know that you were talking about Eddie not doing Bill Cosby on Howard Stern's show, and Seth Meyers wasn't crazy about that. He came out about the Ellen and said, "I wouldn't have told that story."
Seth Meyers said that?
Yeah, he said, do we have the quote here? Just bring up the quote. He said, I wouldn't have told it. I feel the same way. I think when you're at SNL, you're seeing so many different things behind the scenes. There are often things to give away that are yours to give away. Norm played it in a way that is very Norm MacDonald. And he went on to praise you, but I don't know what that means. I mean, how do you choose what to reveal and what not to reveal, what to share and what not to share about an institution as powerful as SNL?
I always think, what would Seth Meyers do? It's ridiculous.
Do you have like a necklace or something with a WWSMD on it? And whenever you're in a pickle, just hold that. And what would Seth do?
Yeah, because, if you really want to be really funny, then that's what you want to do. You want to think, what would make Seth Meyers laugh? That's how I live my life.
What do you think of his show?
Of what show?
The Seth Meyers show.
It's not something I would do.